Why Magazine? From the editor. In this issue we publish some of the many letters we received on the new sports stadium, our cover story last month. Your reactions were certainly mixed. Read our exclusive interview with film star Mike's son and his plans to start a fast food chain. But there's so much more, enough to keep you going for the rest of the month. Until next time. The editor. Cover story. 5. Mike's son, a new smash hit movie, but plans for a dramatic career change. Regular features. Film review. Page 30. Crossword. Page 31. Letters to the editor. Page 32. What's on round town? Art, music, theater. Page 33. Page 12. Getaway holidays. Some popular and some unusual. Page 18. Start now. Marissa Brown of East Bank sets out a sound investment and savings plan for young professions. Page 26. Best wheels. Racing car driver Marco Leone changes teams. Will it be Ford or Ferrari? Page 28. The Met. Metropolitan Art Museum hosts a new exhibition of postmodern paintings.
Sydney Conservatorium of Music Concerts. For January 2001. Sydney Youth Orchestra. Conservatorium high school students play a selection of Mozart concertos. Date, Saturday 4th and the 11th of January, 8 p.m. $10 and $5. B. Let's Sing Together. An afternoon for the young and the young at heart. Led by the Giggles Band, sing children's songs from your childhood and from all over the world. There'll be a special appearance by Willy Wallaby. From the popular children's program, Happy. Date, Sunday the 5th of January, 3 p.m. $5. C. One romantic evening. Bring some special with you and listen to some of the greatest love songs as you gaze at the stars together. Date, Saturday the 25th of January, 8 p.m. $20 and $12. Note, this concert will be held in the Conservatorium Rose Garden, not in the Corset Hall. D. Rock and roll. Bop along till late to the rock hits of the last 10 years. Bands playing include the Hippies, the Hypers, and the Heroes. If you have a special request, write it down at the ticket counter when you come in. Date, Saturday the 18th of January, 8 p.m. $10 and $5. E. Flamenco. World-famous classical guitarist Rodrigo Parras will play a selection of traditional Spanish flamenco pieces. Date Sunday 19th and the 26th of January, 7:30 p.m. $20 and $12.
First aid for snake bites. Snakes are not normally aggressive and tend to bite only when they are threatened or mishandled. Some snakes, e.g. the carpet snake, are not poisonous. Others, e.g. the brown snake, tiger snake and taipan snake, are very poisonous. Prevention. Leave snakes alone and do not collect snakes. Do not put your hands in hollow logs, under piles of wood, or in rubbish. Be noisy when walking in the bush. Look carefully when walking through thick grass. Symptoms and signs. These do not appear immediately, but from about 15 minutes to 2 hours after the casualty is bitten. There are often no visible symptoms or signs. Take seriously any information from a casualty concerning strong emotional reaction, headache or double vision, drowsiness, giddiness or faintness, nausea and or vomiting and diarrhea, puncture marks about 1 centimeter apart at the site of the height. Bites are usually on the limbs, especially the legs. Reddening, bruising, sweating, breathing difficulties. Management. Reassure the casualty. Apply a pressure immobilization bandage over the bitten area and around the limb. Seek medical aid urgently. Snakebite warnings. Never wash the venom off the skin, as this will help in later identification. Never cut or squeeze the bitten area. Never try to suck the venom out of the wound.
How to spot a liar. However much we may abhor it, deception comes naturally to all living things. Birds do it by feigning injury to lead hungry predators away from nesting young. Spider crabs do it by disguise, adorning themselves with strips of kelp and other debris. They pretend to be something they are not, and so escape their enemies. Nature amply rewards successful deceivers by allowing them to survive long enough to mate and reproduce. So it may come as no surprise to learn that human beings, who, according to psychologist Gerald Jellison of the University of South California, are lied to about 200 times a day, roughly one untruth every 5 minutes, often deceive for exactly the same reasons, to save their own skins or to get something they can't get by other means. But knowing how to catch deceit can be just as important a survival skill as knowing how to tell a lie and get away with it. A person able to spot falsehood quickly is unlikely to be swindled by an unscrupulous business associate or hoodwinked by a devious spouse. Luckily, nature provides more than enough clues to trap dissemblers in their own tangled webs, if you know where to look. By closely observing facial expressions, body language and tone of voice, practically anyone can recognize the telltale sign of lying. Researchers are even programming computers, like those used on lie detector, to get at the truth by analyzing the same physical cues available to the naked eye and ear. With the proper training, many people can learn to reliably detect lies, says Paul Ekman, professor of psychology at the University of California, San Francisco, who has spent the past 15 years studying the secret art of deception.
In order to know what kind of lies work best, successful liars need to accurately assess other people's emotional states. Ekman's research shows that this same emotional intelligence is essential for good lie detectors, too. The emotional state to watch out for is stress, the conflict most liars feel between the truth and what they actually say and do. Even high-tech lie detectors don't detect lies as such, they merely detect the physical cues of emotions, which may or may not correspond to what the person being tested is saying. Polygraphs, for instance, measure respiration, heart rate and skin conductivity, which tend to increase when people are nervous, as they usually are when lying. Nervous people typically perspire, and the salts contained in perspiration conduct electricity. That's why a sudden leap in skin conductivity indicates nervousness about getting caught, perhaps, which might, in turn, suggest that someone is being economical with the truth. On the other hand, it might also mean that the lights in the television studio are too hot, which is one reason polygraph tests are inadmissible in court. Good lie detectors don't rely on a single sign, Ekman says, but interpret clusters of verbal and nonverbal clues that suggest someone might be lying. Those clues are written all over the face. Because the musculature of the face is directly connected to the areas of the brain that process emotion, the countenance can be a window to the soul. Neurological studies even suggest that genuine emotions travel different pathways through the brain than insincere ones. If a patient paralyzed by stroke on one side of the face, for example, is asked to smile deliberately, only the mobile side of the mouth is raised. But tell that same person a funny joke, and the patient breaks into a full and spontaneous smile. Very few people, most notably, actors and politicians, are able to consciously control all of their facial expressions. Lies can often be caught when the liar's true feelings briefly leak through the mask of deception. We don't think before we feel, Ekman says. Expressions tend to show up on the face before we're even conscious of experiencing an emotion. One of the most difficult facial expressions to fake or conceal, if it is genuinely felt, is sadness. When someone is truly sad, the forehead wrinkles with grief and the inner corners of the eyebrows are pulled up. Fewer than 15% of the people Ekman tested were able to produce this eyebrow movement voluntarily. By contrast, the lowering of the eyebrows associated with an angry scowl can be replicated at will by almost everybody. If someone claims they are sad and the inner corners of their eyebrows don't go up, Ekman says, the sadness is probably false. The smile, on the other hand, is one of the easiest facial expressions to counterfeit. It takes just two muscles, the zygomaticus major muscles that extend from the cheekbones to the corners of the lips, to produce a grin. But there's a catch. A genuine smile affects not only the corners of the lips but also the orbicularis oculi, the muscle around the eye that produces the distinctive crow's feet associated with people who laugh a lot. A counterfeit grin can be unmasked if the lip corners go up, the eyes crinkle, but the inner corners of the eyebrows are not lowered, a movement controlled by the orbicularis oculi that is difficult to fake. The absence of lowered eyebrows is one reason why false smiles look so strained and stiff.
How to book a course. If you are interested in joining any of our adult evening classes, you can now book in a number of different ways. A. Online. Search for course information online and enroll using our online form. Please upload a passport-size photo and pay using any major credit card or PayPal. B. In person. Call into the Adult Education Center, bring in with you your enrollment form, The correct fee, UCNA make payment by credit/debit card, check or cash. Passport size photo. CIA by post. Print out the enrollment form provided online. Make checks payable to Cornwall Council. Please enclose your enrollment form, the correct tuition fee, passport size photo and send to Cornwall Council, Adult Education Center, Room 308, Sedgemoor Center, Priory Road, St. Austell, PL 25AB. Forms are also available at your local library. DEV by phone. Ring our inquiry line number 0898 275 395. Please have your credit or debit card details ready. Name of cardholder. Card number, ink last 3 digits on signature strip. Expiry date. Course fees. The course fees are printed with the course details and are exempt from VAT. Refunds. A full refund of course fees will only be made if a class does not start or closes due to insufficient enrollments. Refunds for other reasons are not generally given, but if a refund is granted there will be an administration charge of 5.00. Flexible Learning Centers. Adult education centers can be found in 6 towns in Cornwall. Call into your local center of phone for details of opening times and courses available.
Holiday cottages. A. Glen Cottage. Accommodation, up to 2 people. Family and no children parking, 2 cars. Distance to the sea, 3 miles. Review, lots of amazing walks. Fantastic scenery and lovely garden. The property was perfect. There is nothing I would have changed. There is ample parking in the driveway. The owners, who live in the thatched cottage nearby, are very friendly and permit the use of their beautiful landscaped garden. This has some fabulous ponds, shrubs and plants, and guests have the use of a private summer house. B. Treganing. Accommodation, up to 3 people. Family and no under 2's parking, 1 cars. Distance to the sea, 1 miles. Review, thank you for the welcome tray and the flowers. The best priced accommodation we have ever stayed in. 1 week is too short. It really is a home from home with everything we could possibly need provided. By far the best equipped, central, yet quiet. There are 3 coves that are easy to walk to from the property. Mullion Harbour is a delightful example of a Cornish fishing community. C. Itrivero. Accommodation, up to 6 people. Family, children/babies okay parking, no. Distance to the sea, less than 100 yards. Review, this is a great property with a lot of original features, fantastic view, plus all mod cons. Trevero has stood above the beach looking out across the sheltered bay since the 1700s. Roadside parking can be found nearby or in the Headland Car Park.
William Gilbert and magnetism. The 16th and 17th centuries saw 2 great pioneers of modern science, Galileo and Gilbert. The impact of their findings is eminent. Gilbert was the first modern scientist, also the accredited father of the science of electricity and magnetism, an English mean of learning and a physician at the court of Elizabeth. Prior to him, all that was known of electricity and magnetism was what the ancients knew, nothing more than that the lodestone possessed magnetic properties and that amber and jet, when rubbled, would attract bits of paper or other substances of small specific gravity. However, he is less well known than he deserves. B. Gilbert's birth predated Galileo. Born in an eminent local family in Colchester County in the UK, on May 24, 1544, he went to grammar school and then studied medicine at St. John's College, Cambridge, graduating in 1573. Later, he traveled in the continent and eventually settled down in London. He was a very successful and eminent doctor. All this culminated in his election to the president of the Royal Science Society. He was also appointed personal physician to the Queen, Elizabeth I, and later knighted by the Queen. He faithfully served her until her death. However, he didn't outlive the Queen for long and died on November 30, 1603, only a few months after his appointment as personal physician to King James. D. Gilbert was first interested in chemistry but later changed his focus due to the large portion of mysticism of alchemy involved, such as the transmutation of metal. He gradually developed his interest in physics after the great minds of the ancient, particularly about the knowledge the ancient Greeks had about lodestones, strange minerals with the power to attract iron. In the meantime, Britain became a major seafaring nation in 1599 when the Spanish Armada was defeated, opening the way to British settlement of America. British ships depended on the magnetic compass, yet no one understood why it worked. Did the pole star attract it, as Columbus once speculated, or was there a magnetic mountain at the pole, as described in Odyssey, which ships would never approach, because the sailors thought its pole would yank out all their iron nails and fittings? For nearly 20 years, William Gilbert conducted ingenious experiments to understand magnetism. His works include On the Magnet, Magnetic Bodies, and The Great Magnet of the Earth. E. Gilbert's discovery was so important to modern physics. He investigated the nature of magnetism and electricity. He even coined the word electric. Though the early beliefs of magnetism were also largely entangled with superstitions such as that rubbing garlic on lodestone can neutralize its magnetism, one example being that sailors even believed the smell of garlic would even interfere with the action of compass, which is why helmsmen were forbidden to eat it near a ship's compass. Gilbert also found that metals can be magnetized by rubbing materials such as fur, plastic or the like on them. He named the ends of a magnet North Pole and South Pole. The magnetic poles can attract or repel, depending on polarity. In addition, however, ordinary iron is always attracted to a magnet. Though he started to study the relationship between magnetism and electricity, he didn't complete it. His research of static electricity using amber and jet only demonstrated that objects with electrical charges can work like magnets, attracting small pieces of paper and stuff. It is a French guy named Dufay that discovered that they are actually two electrical charges, positive and negative. He also questioned the traditional astronomical beliefs. Though a Copernican, he didn't express in his quintessential beliefs whether the Earth is at the center of the universe or in orbit around the Sun. However, he believed that stars are not equidistant from the Earth but have their own Earth-like planets orbiting around them. The Earth itself is like a giant magnet, which is also why compasses always point north. They spin on an axis that is aligned with the Earth's polarity. He even likened the polarity of the magnet to the polarity of the Earth and built an entire magnetic philosophy on this analogy. In his explanation, magnetism is the soul of the Earth. Thus a perfectly spherical lodestone, when aligned with the Earth's poles, would wobble all by itself in 24 hours. Further, he also believed that the Sun and other stars wobble just like the Earth does around a crystal core, and speculated that the Moon might also be a magnet caused to orbit by its magnetic attraction to the Earth. This was perhaps the first proposal that a force might cause a heavenly orbit. His research method was revolutionary in that he used experiments rather than pure logic and reason like the ancient Greek philosophers did. It was a new attitude towards scientific investigation. Until then, scientific experiments were not in fashion. It was because of this scientific attitude, together with his contribution to our knowledge of magnetism, that a unit of magnetomotive force, also known as magnetic potentile, was named Gilbert in his honor. His approach of careful observation and experimentation rather than the authoritative opinion or deductive philosophy of others had laid the very foundation for modern science.
Consumer reviews of coffee makers. Adopt this traditional freestanding coffee maker, which is suited to most types of standard ground coffee, will fill your house with a classic aroma in the morning. Its conventional bulk design will look stylish on any kitchen worktop, as long as you've got plenty of space. Although it doesn't include the components needed for making a cappuccino, these are available at a reasonable price. The advantage of this model is that it's very simple to operate. You do need to wash all the component parts after each use, however, so it's not the ideal choice for busy workplaces or student kitchens. Small and compact, this attractive red and gray machine is great value for money, even if it only makes a standard cup of coffee. This classic stovetop model has stood the test of time. It comes in either plain silver or bright orange, and there are 5 sizes available. Although it works fine on either gas or electric cookers, be aware that this coffee maker isn't suitable for use with induction hobs. You can make all sorts of coffee at the push of a button with this machine. It also comes with a separate steam outlet for warming milk and a built-in timer so that you can wake up to the smell of coffee in the morning. It's quite bulky, however, so isn't great in kitchens where space is limited. This large machine is really a type of home coffee bar and comes with clear step-by-step guidance for the budding barista. It makes great coffee, but takes a while to set up, so isn't ideal if just nat 1 cup of coffee. Also, you'll need to give yourself some time to clean all its components if you use it regularly. This electric coffee maker comes in a distinctive shade of blue and is a favorite in offices and shared kitchens up and down the country. Not only is it very easy to move around, but there is also almost no mess to clear up afterwards. The coffee's not great, however, and you're tied into using one brand of coffee capsules, which are quite expensive.
Medical records in the UK. Information for patients. As a patient, you may receive care and treatment from a number of places, such as your health centre, hospitals, and community services. We will use information such as your postcode and National Health Service, NHS, number to link your records from these different places. Records are linked in a secure system so your identity is protected. Details that could identify you will be deleted before your information is made available to others. We sometimes release confidential information to approved researchers, if this is allowed by law, and meets the strict rules that are in place to protect your privacy. It helps researchers by supporting studies that identify patterns in diseases, responses to different treatments, and the effectiveness of different services. Information will also help us to find more effective ways of preventing, treating, and managing illnesses. Understand who is at most risk of particular diseases and conditions, so those in charge of care planning can provide preventative services. Guide decisions about how to manage NHS resources so that they can best support the treatment and care of all patients. We are very careful with the information, and we follow strict rules about how it is stored and used, and have a thorough process that must be followed before any information can be shared. When we share information, we will make sure we do so in line with the law, national guidance, and best practice. We have explained how useful information about you is, and the steps that we take to protect your privacy. However, you may not to prevent confidential information about you being shared or used for any purpose other than providing your care, except in special circumstances allowed by law, such as when there is a public health emergency. If you do not want information that identifies you to be shared outside your health center, please ask the center to make a note of this in your medical records. If you are happy for your information to be shared, you do not need to do anything. There is no form to fill in and nothing to sign. And you can change your mind at any time.
The Young Person's Rail Card. A Young Person's Rail Card gives young people the opportunity to purchase discounted rail tickets across Britain. Just imagine where it could take you: to festivals, to see distant friends, or to London for a weekend break. Who can apply? Absolutely anybody between 16 and 25 can apply. You will need to provide proof that you are under 26 years of age. For this, only your birth certificate, driving license, passport, or medical card will be acceptable. Alternatively, if you are a mature student over this age but in full-time education, you can also apply. In order to prove your eligibility, you will need to get your head teacher, tutor, or head of department to sign the application form as well as one of your photos, the latter also needing to be officially stamped. Full-time education is defined as over 15 hours per week for at least 20 weeks a year. Then go along to any major railway station, rail-appointed travel agent, or authorized student travel office with your completed application form from this leaflet, together with 2 passport-sized photos and proof of eligibility. Using your rail card. You can use it at any time, weekends, bank holidays, or during the week. But if you travel before 10 a.m. Monday to Friday, except during July and August, minimum fares will apply. For full details of these, please ask at your local station or contact a rail-appointed travel agent. Conditions. In cases where a railcard does not bear the user's signature, it will be treated as invalid. Neither your railcard nor any tickets bought with it may be used by anybody else. Unless there are no purchase facilities available at the station where you began your journey, you will be required to pay the full fare if you are unable to produce a valid ticket for inspection during a journey. Reduced rate tickets are not available for first-class travel or for Eurostar links to France and Belgium. Passengers will be charged the full rate if they want to sue these services.
Train travel information. We offer several distinct options for you to choose the ticket that suits you best. Ticket type discount notes. Standard returns 20% return within 60 days of outward trip. Same-day returns 25% ticket cannot be altered or refunded. Children 40% children between 4 and 11. Students 25% student card must be shown. Senior citizens 25% seniors card must be shown. Groups 10-25, 15% discount on each section of the trip. Globetrotters according to Ticket Rail Pass, Tourist Card, Econopass. Asterisk only one discount may apply to each fare. Changes and refunds. Tickets may be refunded not later than 5 minutes before the departure of the train for a charge of 15% of the ticket price, or the journey may be changed to another day for a charge of 10% of the ticket price. Not applicable to same-day returns. Changes for same-day travel. You may change your ticket once without charge for a journey on the same day as the original ticket. Information of interest to travelers. When you buy your ticket, it is up to you to check that the dates and times of the journey on it are exactly as you requested. Ticket control and access to each train platform will be open until 2 minutes before departure of the train. Each traveler may take 1 suitcase and 1 item of hand luggage. You may also check in 15 kilograms of luggage not later than 30 minutes before departure, at no extra charge. If you would like to charter a train, or make reservations for over 25 passengers traveling together, call the sales department. Our timetable is guaranteed. If the arrival of your train at your destination is delayed by more than 5 minutes according to the timetable, we will refund the full price of your ticket if the delay is caused by our company.
How you are covered by the law when buying online. The law gives you rights when you buy goods or services without face-to-face contact. It covers online shopping, television shopping, e.g. from shopping channels, mail order shopping, e.g. from a catalog, shopping by phone and fax. The SAW says that you must be given clear information about the goods or services before you buy. You must get written confirmation of this information after you have made your purchase. There is usually a cooling equals off period where you can cancel your order for any reason. You can get a refund if items aren't delivered on the agreed delivery date. If no delivery date is given, you can get a refund if items aren't delivered within 30 days of placing your order. The usual rules that apply to shopping in person also apply to distance selling. So items must be, as described, of satisfactory quality, fit for purpose. Cooling off period. If you buy something without face-to-face contact, you will usually have a cooling off period of 7 working days. It lets you cancel the order for any reason and get your money back. If you decide to cancel your order within the cooling off period, you must tell the trader in writing. You don't have this cancellation right when a new service starts immediately, e.g. paying for access to a website. If the item is personalized or made to order. If the item is perishable, e.g. food or flowers. For publications such as the daily press and periodicals, where the security seal has been broken on a CD, DVD, or computer software. If you buy something from an online auction like eBay, this is known as a private sale.
Buying things online, the cooling off period. A. Under the distance selling regulations, you are quite within your rights to change your mind at any time, return the goods and get a full refund, including any delivery charges you have paid. This must happen within 30 days from cancellation, whether or not the goods have been sent back. Any related credit agreements will also cease to exist. B. You may be required to bear the cost of returning the goods, but only if this was made clear when you agreed to buy them. If the goods are faulty, then under the separate sale of goods laws, the supplier will always be responsible for the cost of returning them. C. In all other cases, your only obligations are to make the goods available for collection and to take reasonable care of them while they are in your possession. This is called a duty of care, and it lasts for a period of 21 days. Where you have agreed to return the goods, your duty of care continues until you do this and could be for as long as 6 months. D. Under a distance selling contract, a supplier cannot make refunds subject to the goods being returned unopened into their original packaging. One of the principles of the distance selling regulations is to give you a chance to examine the goods at home, not having had a chance to do so in the shop. It would be impossible for you to do this without opening the box or bag and making sure it's what you wanted. E. Also, you need to ensure that things are of good quality and work properly. Having said this, you will still be under a duty to take reasonable care of the goods while in your possession, and may be subject to certain instructions such as not to wear shoes outdoors, or remove hygiene seals. F. However, for goods and services paid for specifically in a distance selling context, you are automatically protected against fraudulent use of your payment card, whether this is a credit or debit card. So if you see that you have paid for goods you didn't buy, you can ask the card company for the money back.
Consumer advice on buying shoes. If you have a problem with shoes you've recently bought, follow this 4-step plan. Step 1. Go back to the shop with proof of purchase. If you return faulty shoes at one, you have a right to insist on a refund. It is also likely that you will get one if you change your mind about the shoes and take them back immediately. But, if you delay or you've had some use out of the shoes, the shop may not give you all your money back. It depends on the state of the shoes and how long you've had them. If you are offered a credit note, you don't have to accept it. If you accept it, you will usually not be able to exchange it for cash later on. So, you may be left with an unwanted credit note if you cannot find any other shoes you want from the shop. The shop may want to send the shoes back to head office for inspection. This is fair and could help to sort things out. But don't be put off by the shop, which claims that it's the manufacturer's responsibility. This isn't true. It's the shop's legal duty to put things right. Step 2. If you don't seem to be getting anywhere, you can get help. Free advice is available from a Citizens Advice Bureau, get the address from your telephone book, or from a local trading standards department. Again, consult the telephone directory under county, regional, or borough council. All these departments have people who can advise you about faulty goods and what to do with them. Step 3. Most shops are covered by the Footwear Code of Practice. If the shop you are dealing with is covered, you can ask for the shoes to be sent to the Footwear Testing Center for an independent opinion. The shop has to agree with whatever the resulting report says. There is a charge of $2.1. You pay $7 and the shop pays the rest, including postage. Step 4. As a last resort, you can take your case to court. This is not as difficult as it sounds. The small claims procedure for amounts up to $1,000,750 in Scotland is a cheap, easy and informal way of taking legal action. The relevant forms are available from your nearest county court or, in Scotland, the Sheriff Court. You can get advice and leaflets from the Citizens Advice Bureau. Alternatively, some bookshops sell advice packs which contain the relevant forms.
Lost cards. If you discover that your credit card, checkbook, debit card, or cash card is missing, telephone the credit card company or bank as soon as possible. Follow this up with a letter. If you suspect theft, tell the police as well. In most circumstances, provided you act quickly, you will not have to pay any bills which a thief runs up on your account. Most home insurance policies will also cover you against even this limited risk. Because plastic money is now so common, central registration schemes such as Credit Card Shield and Card Protection System exist to help customers whose cards are lost or stolen. Under the schemes, you file details of all your cards, including cash cards and account cards issued by shops, with a central registry, for a small annual fee. Then, if any or all of your cards are stolen, you need to make only one phone call to the registry, which is open around the clock 365 days a year. As soon as you have called, your responsibility for any bills run up by the thief ends and the scheme staff makes sure that all the companies whose cards you had are notified. What you stand to lose on a stolen card. Credit card, you will not have to pay more than 50 of the bills a thief runs up with your card. If you report the loss before the card is used, you will not have to pay anything. Checks and guarantee card, unless you have been careless by signing blank checks, say, you will not have to pay for any forged checks a thief uses. The bank or shop that accepts them will have to bear the loss. Debit card, Switch or Visa Delta, the banks operate a system similar to that for credit cards, in that you are liable for bills up to 50. If your cash card is stolen. Legally, you can be made to pay back any sums a thief withdraws using your card, but only up to the time you report the loss and up to 50, unless the bank can prove gross negligence, such as writing your personal identification number on your card. Never keep your card and a note of your personal number, which does not appear on the card, together. Memorize your personal number if possible. If you must make a note of it, disguise it as something else, a telephone number, say. The same rules and precautions apply to a credit card used as a cash card.
Presto Bread Machine. Thank you for buying a Presto Bread Machine. You and your family will enjoy delicious homemade bread for years to come. A. Please check the contents of the box to make sure they are complete. Your Presto Bread Machine comes with a removable baking pan, a measuring cup, a measuring spoon and a recipe booklet. You may also wish to have on hand an extra measuring cup and several other measuring spoons in different sizes. Ingredients for the bread recipes are not included. B. Choose a recipe from the enclosed recipe booklet. Each recipe lists the ingredients in the order they are to be added to the machine. Liquid ingredients should be added to the machine before dry ingredients. Place all the ingredients in the removable pan, place the pan inside the machine, and close the lid. Push the menu button and the type of bread you are making, white, whole wheat, or raisin. If you are making rolls, select dough. Push the start button. Your bread will be ready in 3 hours for white or raisin bread or 4 hours for whole wheat bread. Dough takes 2 hours. C. It is important to clean the inside of the machine after each use. Small bits of dough may fall out of the pan and burn during baking. Over time this may build up and become hazardous. For cleaning, remove the bread pan from the machine and let the machine cool down. Wipe the inside of the machine with damp sponge. To clean the bread pan, let it soak in warm, soapy water. Then wipe gently with a damp sponge. Do not use a brush or scouring pad as these may damage the stick-free coating. D. If you have any questions or require help using your bread machine, please call our 24-hour helpline, 800-555-9845. A list of frequently asked questions and answers is available on the website, www.prestobread.com. Also available on the website is a variety of international bread recipes. If you are dissatisfied with your Presto bread machine for any reason, simply return it, in its original box, to the store where you purchased it. A complete refund will be sent to you within 30 days of purchase.
Regional Share Your Ride. Information for commuters. Regional Share Your Ride is a free service offered to all commuters in our area. We help you save costs on commuting by matching you up with other commuters who travel the same route. When you share your daily ride to work with other commuters, you save on transportation costs and help reduce traffic congestion and air pollution. Carpool, share your ride to work with one or more other commuters. You can choose to carpool daily or just a few days a week, whatever suits your schedule best. Vanpool, using your van to share your ride with 4 or more people will save you even more on commuting costs. Regional Share Your Ride is available to help you keep your van running smoothly and filled with riders. According to state law, vanpools are permitted to travel in special high-occupancy vehicle, HOV, lanes located on highways in urban areas throughout the region. Matching, log on to our website at www.rsyrp.net. Type in your location, destination, and work schedule. our system will generate a list of other commuters whose route and schedule match yours. The website also has maps of the region to help you plan the most efficient route for your commute. These are available for free download. Contact the commuters on the list and arrange a ride-sharing schedule and route with them. You can also discuss how you want to share the responsibility of driving. When you have arranged a carpool or vanpool group, return to our website and register your group with us. Benefits: registered participants in Regional Share Your Ride can sign up to receive daily traffic and weather reports by email. As a participant, you are also eligible for the Urgent Ride service, which provides you with free transportation to your house in case you or your carpool or vanpool driver has an emergency.
Barchester Office Towers Visitor Information. Welcome to Barchester Office Towers. Visitors must register with the security desk in order to obtain a visitor's badge and be allowed entrance to the building. The security desk is located on the ground floor lobby near the main entrance. The security officer on duty will direct you to the office you are visiting. In addition, a map of the building is displayed near the main elevators, located behind the security desk. To reach the rooftop parking area, take the elevator to the 4th floor, then follow the signs. Also located on that floor is the City View Restaurant, serving 3 meals a day, Tuesday through Sunday. Barchester Office Towers offers a number of business services for the convenience of tenants and visitors. The Copy Center is located on the 2nd floor. Photocopy and fax services are available here. Computers with internet access are also available. The Copy Center is open 24 hours a day. You must show your visitor's badge when requesting services. A small branch post office is located down the hall from the Copy Center. Envelopes and stamps are sold here. Mail pickup is twice a day at 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. On the 3rd floor, you will find a branch of the National Bank. All basic banking services are offered. Next to the bank is the Barchester Coffee Shop. Coffee, tea, and snacks are sold here, and most major daily newspapers and business magazines are available for perusal. The coffee shop is open from 7 a.m. until 4:30 Monday to Saturday.
Spring Willow Farm Museum and Education Center. Spring Willow Farm is a fully operating farm designed to educate the public about farm operation, farming history, and issues facing farmers today. Skialoodle. We are open to the public year-round, with reduced hours during the winter months. Closed Mondays and holidays. Visiting the farm. Visitors are free to tour the farm on their own. Please note that children must be accompanied by an adult at all times. Maps are available at the information desk in the main building. Guided tours are included in the cost of admission. Tours leave from TE main building front entrance at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. daily. The ground floor of the main building is open to visitors. It contains exhibits explaining daily farm life in different periods of history, with display showing farm implements, kitchen and other household utensils, photographs, and more. The information desk is also located here, as well as the Farm Museum gift shop. Classes. The museum offers classes on various aspects of farming and farm history 2 evenings a week throughout the year. Ask at the information desk for a schedule of upcoming classes. In addition, classes on special subjects related to farming can be arranged for your club or group. Please contact the education office for further information. All classes take place in the classrooms located on the 2nd floor of the main building.